Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to day 28 of my 31 days live challenge. Actually, second time today, because as you know, I was on earlier, if you've seen that, having a bit of rant about a transgender issue. But here we are now, and today I'm moving into virgin territory, but so is my guest, because we're talking about Bach Flower Remedies. I'm going to find out a little bit about how they can help people, particularly if you're stressed and nervous about going online and having challenges with that, or if you're stressed about doing your speaking, or all sorts of other ways. So I've got my rescue remedy here, which I keep with me in my bag all the time. But today I'm going to find out a little bit more about some of the other Bach Flower Remedies. So with me is Bach Flower Remedy expert and author, Lynn Macwhinnie. So let me just bring in Lynn and...
Hi.
Hello, Lynn. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Rikki. Hi. Thank you for having me.
So, your first time on going on a live interview show?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I have to say, I'm pretty new to it, but as you know, I've been doing it every day.
I know. You've been doing a great job. It's very inspiring.
Well, I think when you do something every day, you really do get into it, and you start. I've now got to the point now where I'm thinking, like this morning, there was a news item about some parents who had taken their child out of a school because another child came to school dressed as a girl, and they thought it was absolutely wrong, and that and they're now trying to sue the school for distressing their child. I thought, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And it started with, as a Christian, I thought, oh, here we go. So I had to get off.
That feels like a real vervain reaction, actually, from you, which is one of the 38 Bach Flower Remedies.
Oh, right.
So the vervain is a great remedy if you're very passionate and feel incensed by injustice, and it helps you just kind of calm it a bit so you don't kind of burn out on your passion, really.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, so this is this is what I'm hoping to look about. So I'm just going to pop something up on screen here, because looking around, Lynn is an author, and she has written Emotional Wisdom with Bach Flower Remedies, which I notice is available on the Kindle at the amazing knockdown price of about £3 something. Very, very good bargain, and simple to access and get hold of. So tell me a little bit about what you do, about Bach Flower Remedies, and what's got you into this.
Well, actually, I was working in publishing in the late 70s. I was living in California. Manuscript landed on my desk about these flowers. And I thought, well, San Francisco, place of flower power and all of that. So I read the manuscript and just fell in love with the remedies immediately and thought, these are the missing link in healthcare. It was just, for me, it was that emotional component that so many modalities don't address. And so I just thought, that's it. And I was really surprised when my colleagues said, no, we're not going to publish it. But I then was on a business trip back to the UK and went to the Bach Centre, which is just in a little village called Stockwell near Wallingford in Oxfordshire, and knocked on the door. And actually it was Dr. Bach's assistant who answered the door, because Dr. Bach died in the 30s. And she showed me in, and I got all kind of excited about the whole thing and bought my first set of remedies. And 2 little books, Heal Thyself and then 12 Healers. They were his 2 main books, really, that he'd left. Wanted to keep the system very simple and effective. And I took them back to California and started using them with my colleagues. And that's really what set me off. So I just feel just so blessed that they've been in my life for such a long time. And then for about the last 25 years, I've been training trainers and practitioners around the world, because I helped to develop and design the international education program. So I've done that. So it's kind of run really as another thread to my executive coaching and consultancy work. But it's my passion.
So let me get the pronunciation right. This is Bach Flower Remedies, not Bach.
Well, some people say Bach, some say Bach, and some actually, it's the Australians actually often just refer to him as Edward.
Edward.
So, Dr. Edward Bach, yeah, because it was he came up with it, yeah. But he was a surgeon, he was a homeopath, a bacteriologist. He was quite an extraordinary man, but he kept feeling that it didn't matter whatever if somebody had broken their leg, and well, if there are two people, they each broken a leg, how they would respond to the healing process depended so much on their personality. And that was really what got him looking to find something in nature that could support the healing process. Yeah. So that's fantastic.
I mean, it's all part of the alternative sort of therapy field.
Sure.
And I've been a big fan of alternative therapies for years.
Yeah.
Some of them have been really, really helpful. Others, well, my sense was it didn't make any difference at all.
Yeah, sure.
And I think a lot of people have a slight sort of concern, don't they? That it's just another, sure, oddball remedy from a new age. Thing. I know they've been around a long, long time, and I must admit, when I'm feeling a bit stressed, I always take a little squirt of that. Now, I often wonder, is it the Bach Flower Remedy or the brandy that's
right? Yes, yeah. People often think that. I think when you see how well infants, small children and animals respond to the remedies, then you kind of know, actually there can't be a placebo in here. Yeah, because you often get a very quick response with little ones. And particularly with animals. And I think it's because there's not so many layers of complexity, which most of us as adults, we sort of develop that, don't we, as we go through life. And I think what's so wonderful about this system is that anybody can do it for themselves. It's a simple self-help system. Yes, it's great to see a Bach Foundation registered practitioner who can, if you like, reflect back to you what you're saying. So you actually have that real sense of, oh, did I say that? Am I thinking that? Am I really that worried? Because sometimes we have our own blind spots that we don't want to look at. But what the remedies will do, they would just gently readdress the imbalance that there is and help you, if you like, own the positive qualities of your emotions rather than being sideswiped, if you like, by the negative. And that is really all it is. It's about bringing back the balance.
Now, you sent me, people can't see this now, but I'll bring it up bigger on screen. This big chart, which is all about the various different ways.
Yes.
Now, this is all part of your book, isn't it? So,
yes.
So can you walk us through a few of the things on here? But what are the sorts of remedies that as a speaker or somebody in business or somebody sort of getting involved in something like this, which is a bit stressful going online? How would they be helped by using these? So you're going to disappear now, but your book is up there and people can still hear you.
Right. Okay, great. I think the important thing is about the chart, and they can just download it for free as well from my website. And it is just an overview of the remedies. There are 38 remedies. Dr. Bach put them into 7 different groups. So the first thing to do is to look at the chart and think, which ones sound like me? Because that is often, it's almost that instinctive response is often the remedies that we find ourselves going towards. Now, if you're preparing for something that is creating a lot of anxiety in you, for example, you're immediately probably going to look at the fear remedies. And in looking at the fear remedies, you're going to see actually there's Mimulus for fear of known situations. Well, actually, yeah, I am going to be a little bit afraid going to speak online for the first time, live, or being on stage. Yeah, so you're always sort of looking at those kinds of situations where the particular emotions are coming up. Another remedy that is really quite good as well for public speaking, again, if there's a slight confidence issue that you're thinking, maybe I'm not going to be really good at this, and start putting your foot on the brake, then Larch is another great remedy, and that's in the uncertainty group, desponsia or despair group. So, or what am I going to say? Oh dear, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Is that going to kick into my self-doubt? Am I going to keep that self-doubt to myself, which would be much more about scleranthus, or actually am I going to ask lots of other people for their opinions? And then that would be Serato. So all the time, we're just looking to see which remedies, if you like, resonate with us, because we're all different. I mean, that's the point of the system, is that it's actually addressing the individuality of who we are, rather than generic. So while the rescue remedy, and there's, because there's 2, there's rescue remedy and there's also 5 flower, which is another one by a different manufacturer, but they're the same product. And with those particular remedies, sometimes people think, well, actually, I'll just put that in my glass of water when I go on stage and I'll sip from that. It's great as a kind of generic one, but it's much better if you just make up a bespoke mix. And if people don't, because the remedies, I think they're about £6 or £7 a bottle now. If you've got to buy 3, 4, 5, and you can have up to 6 or 7 different remedies in a 30 ml mix, is actually you might just prefer just to contact a practitioner on the Bach Centre website and ask them if they will send you a mix that you've selected for yourself. And often they will do that without seeing you for a consultation.
So is that a cheaper way to do it, to actually get somebody to...
I think, yeah. To get going with it, if you're self-selecting, you're not wanting the consultation, then use the chart. And obviously, if people want to read my book, that's great because it's in print as well. And then just, self-select. It's supposed to be a self-help system. And I mean, that's really what Dr. Bach wanted it to be. And I always say to the Bach practitioners...
Where would I go to get flower remedies? If I was just going to go out to a shop?
If you're just going to go to a store, then go to Boots or to Holland & Barrett, Neal's Yard, any of them, they'll sell them. They don't necessarily... Boots doesn't necessarily sell the whole 38. They tend, because of cost of shelf space and so on, they tend to then just maybe send top 10 sellers. So first of all, check out which ones you need. Yeah. Because I think a set is now probably about 180, 200 pounds or something for a 20 mil. I think it's a bit cheaper for 10 mil set. But you might find you're not always using those remedies anyway. You don't use all 38. Yeah, you just find certain ones are your favourite.
Wanting to have a consultancy and actually get sorted out on that, where would they go to find that sort of...
Okay, if they go onto the Bach Centre website, there's a list of practitioners who are registered with the foundation all around the world. So it doesn't matter where they are in the world, whether in Guatemala, Russia, Australia, anywhere, Europe, they will find a practitioner. And then and a lot of practitioners these days are offering Skype consultations, which I do as well. It's just a way to try and reach people, really. But I'm very keen that people learn to do it for themselves. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to pick up now. I'll pop this down here. So you said the magic word, Skype consultations. Because my show is all about looking at life. How do we start to reach out to people and with various different things? How can we reach out? So you're using Skype, which is one of about half a dozen different tools which you could use.
Yes.
I've moved away from Skype now because some of the tools. This is great if I just want to broadcast out through Facebook.
Right.
What we're doing here is we're using Facebook Live, but I'm using a platform to enable me to do all these little tricks like putting up your web address, and I can bring in my comment, which I've just put on there. So if anybody comments while we're on the show, we can add their comments in. So that makes it a little bit more clever than
more interactive, isn't it? Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
be quite interactive. But there are other products like Zoom and AppearIn, which are quite good for group discussions.
If
I want to get people together and we could do that private. Although even this one, I could literally broadcast into a private group, so that only members of that group could see it. So we can actually do quite a lot. Now you're using Skype, and you're using it essentially as a one-to-one basis, on a one-to-one basis.
Well, I use it on a one-to-one, but I also have been using Skype for group supervision calls for Bach practitioners because I facilitate those. So, and it actually works quite well. But I think a lot of the time, even like for us setting up, it was like the need for Chrome instead of Safari, things like that. And I guess that some of those things, fortunately you knew about that. I didn't until you told me. And I think that some of that, because I think I'm a bit of a technophobe, so I always try and keep it all a bit simple.
Well, don't play yourself down on the technical side. I've had to, quite literally, I've spent 2 years trying to figure this stuff out. But the biggest problem was I was scared of going online. I have no idea why. It was causing me all sorts of challenges, and that's why I did this challenge, to overcome it. And now I've got rid of it. Now I'm not worried about seeing myself on screen, which is a really good thing. But I think that's the worst thing. We look at ourselves and think, oh my God, oh no, look at it. And we hate ourselves.
Well, there's a Bach Flower Remedy for that as well. That's crabapple.
Crabapple. I saw that, actually. I was looking through your list.
Yeah.
So that's a very good chart, that one. Okay, so what we need to do is to persuade people to go basically have a look at your book, don't we? So this is the book available on Amazon.
The ebooks on Amazon, and the print edition is through me. Yeah.
The print edition through you off the website, which we've got a link for that, which they can find in the chat. But they can get this available through Amazon.
Yeah.
Does it work? I mean, sometimes Kindle books aren't very good with graphics, and that, but this one work quite well.
Well, it seems to, but I worked with eBook Partnership to create the kind of final book, right. And then they if you like, built it that would suit different platforms. So that it's on iBooks, it's on with Barnes and Noble, it's with the library system, and it's also obviously you can read it on a Kindle as well. So, and there's full color photographs in that, like full page photos. Because it's an ebook, I thought, well, make the most of the fact that there's 38 color photographs in it, and they're big ones. Whereas in the book, I've got the small round ones like there are on the chart. So okay. It's just making the most really of the ebook. But eBook Partnership were fantastic. I've really been very happy with them.
Yeah, well, it looks to be quite a short guide. Yeah, how many?
Yeah, it's 80 pages. Yes,
80 pages.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's A5 size because I wanted the book again to reflect the simplicity of the system, and that's really why I went that route. I don't know if you see if I open up a page, will you see? So look, you see, there's just that's it. Yeah. Whereas with the ebook, it will be a full color photograph. So it's just a different way of just, as I say, trying to reflect it, because Dr. Bach, actually, he brought out a little book called The 12 Healers in 1934, I think the first one came out. And it was really, I was trying to reflect the simplicity of the 12 Healers, which actually, if people don't want to buy my book, this is available as a free download from the Bach Centre website, so which is bachcentre.com. And that's available in, I think, in about 40 languages, whereas my book at the moment is just in traditional Chinese, and it's going to soon be in Italian. And it's been translated into Hebrew as well. So there's other languages in the pipeline.
You're in Chinese and?
Chinese, yeah, traditional Chinese. It's very exciting. Can't understand a word of it, but that's okay.
And I studied Mandarin for about a year.
Oh, wow.
I thought I was going to be able to talk. I thought I was going to be able to have a chat now, able to start practicing with my local Chinese takeaway. And I went in and I said something in Mandarin very clever. She said, "Oh, very good, very good." But I'm Cantonese. I said, "Is that really different?" She said, "It's like comparing English and Welsh." I thought, so, but
well, you'll be okay to go to Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I just, oops, no, don't want that. We'll just put that up. So that's the address there, bachcentre.com, yeah?
Yes, that's right, yes.
So if they go to Bach, so I'll put myself back in here again, so because I'm still remembering to pop me in. Right, so if they go to bachcentre.com, they can download that one. Looking at your book, I shall get that later on. That chart is really, really useful, I thought, just looking at that.
Yes.
So, and if people want consultations, where's the best?
Well, if they want to see somebody face to face, look on the Bach Centre list of registered practitioners, and then they can find somebody that's near them, which is on there as well. And if they're looking for Skype, then it doesn't really matter where anyone is. You know, I mean, I've got clients in Southeast Asia who I Skype with. You know, so it doesn't, in a sense, it's only about the time frame. And being able to do compatible, in terms of the time zones. So it's
so if they go to your site,
yes,
they could. If somebody wanted to, they could book a consultancy with you.
Oh yeah. Oh well, if they want to book, yes, me. If they want to book one with me, yeah, then they can. They can go to our website and book a Skype call. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I would really urge people to look at the chart and just think to themselves, which ones are speaking to me? Try it out if they want to, you know, and just see next time they're giving a presentation, whether it's to a huge audience or whether it is just, you know, like we're doing right now, and just notice what they notice. What's different about how I'm feeling right now? Am I feeling calm or am I feeling too wired? You know, what's going on? And I think what's so amazing, and I've talked to huge audiences as well, you know, in physical presence, in real time, and I always have my glass of water with my remedies in it, and I'm sipping that, and then I often say because I'm there talking about back and stress or whatever, and I always ask them to try and guess what have I got in the glass, because it's always my remedies.
Excellent.
Because it just makes such a difference. It really does. Yeah.
So tell me a bit about this one, Rescue Remedy. This is
Rescue Remedy.
That's
okay.
the popular one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a mix?
Well, Rescue Remedy or the 5 Flower, which is another manufacturer. So there's 2 different manufacturers here, but there's other manufacturers too. This contains 5 of the flowers. So there is Star of Bethlehem for shock. There is Cherry Plum for that fear of losing control. There is Impatiens for irritability. There is Rock Rose for terror. And there is Clematis to help you stay grounded. So that is why that mix is there. So the idea is that particular combination will help you just kind of center yourself and feel, more focused, more together. So that's a good start for a lot of people, is to try that, but not to get stuck on it, because sometimes what happens is people don't realize there's actually another 38 flowers and that they could benefit from a more bespoke situation, which is what's happened. I mean, I've had people who've said, that the remedies have changed their lives, that there's been they've suddenly had a realization, like wild oak. There's a great remedy, actually. It's about life path. What am I supposed to be doing? What's my path in life? What's my purpose? Maybe I've got lots of different ideas about what that might be, and I just don't know where I am. They start taking wild oak, and then suddenly everything changes, and they have a real sense of path and purpose, which I think then that remedy just allows that to happen. Dr. Bach talked about the soul and the personality needing to be in harmony, and when it is, all is joy and peace, happiness and health. So I think that's a pretty good way to go, really.
Sounds absolutely well. You've certainly opened my eyes, because I've tended to just use Rescue Remedy, not anything else. I'm now going to have a good look and see what else. I'm going to enjoy going through that chart. I was looking at it in some detail earlier on, but I think I'll get your book and have a look at that. And
well, I'll send you a copy. Just give me your address and I'll pop one in the post. At the very least I can do for you, kind of introducing me to this whole way of having a dialogue with somebody. It's great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll have a little chat after the show. I'm going to when I wind the show up in a minute. Don't go, because then we can stay in the green room if you like and have a chat.
Okay.
And
Are there any tea, coffee, anything like that in the green room?
It doesn't quite work like that, but we haven't got around to virtual tea and coffee yet.
Yeah.
If I can find a way, I will. But no, I think that's really, really good. So just sort of remind everybody so that they know. And I'll just bring this back in again. Just there's the book, Emotional Wisdom with Bach Flower Remedies, available as an ebook on Kindle. And if you would like to get a copy of Lynn's book, the physical book, then this is her address. LynnMacwhinnie.com, and you can download from there. You can order it from there, yeah?
Yes, that's right. Yes, thank you, Rikki. Yeah.
Excellent. So we've got the, and I've put the address into the chat, so it'll still be there with the show in the replay, so other people can have a look at that. So
yeah, and actually, can I just mention, if anyone does have any questions about anything about the remedies, I've also got a Facebook page, Bach Flower Remedies Worked For Me. And often people message me on there with questions, but it's a community page. So it's also quite interesting. It's a good way for people to learn about the remedies.
I did have a copy of that address earlier on, but I lost it. Never mind. So let's see if I can find the address again.
Yeah, Bach Flower Remedies Worked For Me. Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Oh no, I've got your. No, that's your personal site. Okay. Yeah. I shall leave it. So it's Bach Flower Remedies Works For Me. Is there a link from your website to that?
Yes, I think there might be, actually. Yes, she says vaguely.
Good thing to do.
On my hand-knitted website, yes.
No. It's always good to have links to all your other sites together, so everybody sort of links everything up. I've got so many now. I'm beginning to have a site just to give the links. So there we go. We'll wrap this chat up now. That's because I try to keep it about half an hour.
Sure. That's great. Thank you.
You're going to disappear from screen. People will still be able to hear you. So just while I wind this whole thing up, thank you very much indeed for joining me, Lynn. Really, really appreciate that. It's been really instructive, very entertaining entertaining and educational. I think they call it edutainment now, isn't it? It's a new phrase for how we combine the two. Right, so thank you very much indeed. And thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you're interested in getting yourself more actively involved in online performance and online presentations, or just improving your speaking skills generally, come and join me at eSpeaker Live. It's a group I've set up just to help people. You can share your shows there. You can practice and try out with various different things. Get a few people to come and help you out, find an audience. It's all about trying to help each other to get better at doing this whole thing of going live. I'm finding it absolutely fun and amazing. It's changing my life, quite honestly. I'm just, whole way of communicating is beginning to transform as a result of simply just doing it for 31 days. So thank you for being here with me. I'm back tomorrow, and tomorrow, wow, I have got Leyland Best as a guest tomorrow. Leyland is one of the top experts in the US on live streaming. So that is going to be a great day. Really do join me, Leyland Best, talking about, I mean, what he doesn't know about live streaming and the various different tools and techniques probably isn't worth knowing. So join me tomorrow, and that'll be at 4 o'clock UK time tomorrow with interview and chat with Leyland Best on how we can really make live streaming work. So thank you for being with me. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.